Hi, English learners, and welcome back to Daily English Buddy. I'm Justine.
And I'm Alex, and today we are talking about one of the most beautiful events in human life.
That is right. Today we are talking about weddings. Love is in the air.
Going to a wedding is wonderful. You get to dress up, eat delicious food, and celebrate two people falling in love.
But let's be honest. Going to a wedding can also be very expensive and very stressful.
Yes, you have to buy a gift, you have to buy a new suit or a new dress.
And if you are invited to a wedding in an English-speaking country, it is a big challenge for your language skills.
Exactly. Weddings have their own special vocabulary. There are special names for the people, the events, and the traditions.
And if you use the wrong vocabulary, you can ruin the most important day of someone's life.
Yes, you do not want to accidentally insult the bride on her wedding day. She will never forgive you.
So today, we are going to teach you all the B1 and B2 wedding vocabulary you need to survive.
Before we start the lesson, please remember to grab today's free PDF study guide. The link is in the description box below.
You definitely need that PDF. Because Alex, I heard a rumor. I heard that you ruined an English wedding once.
Oh no, who told you about that? Yes, it is true. I gave the worst wedding speech in human history.
I cannot wait to hear this. Whose wedding was it?
It was my good friend from university. His name is David. David is British and he was marrying a lovely woman named Claire.
Okay, David and Claire. And what was your role at the wedding?
David asked me to be his best man. That is a huge honor. The best man is the groom's primary assistant.
That is a very big job. The best man has to organize the rings and give a speech at the dinner.
Yes, the speech. In the UK, the best man's speech is usually a little bit funny. You make some jokes about the groom.
Okay, so you wanted to be funny. Did you write a speech?
I didn't write it down. I thought I was fluent enough to just speak from my heart. I had a few drinks and I stood up.
You improvised a wedding speech in your second language.
Yes, I took my spoon and I hit my glass. Ting, ting, ting. The whole room went quiet.
Oh, I am already getting stressed. Everyone was looking at you?
There were 100 people watching me. Claire's grandmother was sitting right in front of me. I smiled and raised my glass.
And what did you say?
I yelled, "Hello everyone. I want to raise a roast to David and Claire."
A roast? Alex, you raise a toast at a wedding. A roast is when you cook a chicken in the oven.
I mixed up the letters. I didn't know. A roast is also when you insult someone for comedy.
Did they laugh at your roast?
No one laughed. They just looked confused. So I panicked and kept talking. I looked at David.
What did you say to the groom?
I said, "David, my friend, it is game over for you now. You are trapped in a prison forever."
Alex, you called marriage a prison in front of his new wife?
I was trying to make a classic best man joke, but my vocabulary was too aggressive. Claire's father glared at me.
He probably wanted to throw you out the window.
So then I tried to be nice to the bride. I turned to Claire. She looked very nervous.
Please tell me you said something nice to Claire.
I wanted to say congratulations, but my brain grabbed the wrong word. I looked at the beautiful bride and I said, "Claire, my condolences."
Your condolences? Alex, no.
They start with the same letters. Congratulations, condolences. They sound the same.
Condolences is what you say at a funeral, when someone dies.
I know that now. Claire's grandmother actually gasped. She held her chest in shock. She looked horrified.
You basically told her that marrying David was a tragedy.
It gets worse. Because I said a funeral word, my brain stayed in funeral vocabulary for the grand finale.
Oh, I cannot listen to this.
I raised my glass one last time. I wanted to say happily ever after. Instead, I yelled, "May your marriage rest in peace."
Rest in peace. You killed their marriage on day one.
I drank my champagne and sat down. There was total silence for 10 seconds. Finally, David started laughing to save me.
Oh, wow. That is the greatest English disaster I have ever heard. You used funeral words at a wedding.
Yes, it was a dark day. So let's switch to teacher mode. Let's make sure our listeners never make these mistakes.
Absolutely. Let's start at the very beginning. Before the wedding, you get an invitation in the mail.
Yes, and the invitation usually has 4 letters on it. RSVP.
RSVP is actually French. Répondez s'il vous plaît. It means please reply. You must tell them if you are coming.
You must always RSVP. If you do not reply, there will be no food or chair for you.
The invitation might also say +1. A +1 is a guest you can bring. A boyfriend, a girlfriend, or a date.
If it does not say +1, you must go alone. Do not bring a surprise guest to a wedding.
Okay, you sent your RSVP. Now, what do you wear? Let's talk about the dress code.
For men, you usually wear a suit and tie. If it is very formal, you wear a tuxedo.
For women, you wear a nice dress. But there is one massive, unbreakable rule. Never, ever wear white to a wedding.
Exactly. Only the bride wears white. It is her special color. Do not steal her attention.
The bride wears a white wedding dress. She also wears a veil. A veil is the white net over her face or hair.
And she carries a beautiful bunch of flowers. This is called a bouquet.
Now, let's talk about the people at the wedding. The man getting married is the groom.
And the woman getting married is the bride. Together, they are the bride and groom.
The bride usually has a group of female friends helping her. They wear matching dresses. They are called the bridesmaids.
And the most important bridesmaid, usually her sister or best friend, is the maid of honor.
For the men, the groom has his group of friends. They are the groomsmen.
And as we learned, the leader of the groomsmen is the best man. That was my job.
Okay, now let's talk about the events. A wedding day is usually split into 2 parts.
The first part is formal. This is when they exchange rings and make promises. This is called the ceremony.
The promises they make to each other are called vows. They say their vows during the ceremony.
After the ceremony is finished, the fun part begins. The big party with food, drinks, and dancing.
This party is called the reception. You go to the ceremony first, and then you go to the reception.
There are a few important traditions at the reception. First, the first dance.
Yes, the bride and groom dance together alone while everyone watches. It is very romantic.
Then they cut the cake. They hold a knife together and cut the big wedding cake.
And later, the bride throws her bouquet of flowers into the air. All the single women try to catch it.
This is called the bouquet toss. Whoever catches the flowers is supposed to be the next person to get married.
During the reception, people also stand up to speak. This brings us back to Alex's disaster.
Yes, when you raise your glass to wish someone well, it is a toast, not a roast.
You say, "I would like to propose a toast to the happy couple."
And what do you say to the couple? You say, "Congratulations." Never say condolences.
Yes, congratulations. Condolences are for funerals.
There are also some great B2 idioms you should know about weddings. The most famous one is to tie the knot.
To tie the knot simply means to get married. For example, David and Claire are tying the knot next weekend.
It comes from an old tradition of actually tying the hands of the bride and groom together with a ribbon.
Another great idiom is a match made in heaven. This is a wonderful compliment to give the couple.
Yes, if two people are perfectly suited for each other, they are a match made in heaven.
But there is also a negative idiom you must be careful with. Cold feet.
Oh yes, do not say someone has cold feet at the wedding.
If you get cold feet, it means you are so nervous about getting married that you want to run away and cancel the wedding.
So if you say, I think the groom has cold feet, you are starting a terrible rumor.
Exactly. Now, what do you write in the card when you give them a gift?
A very safe and beautiful phrase is, wishing you a lifetime of love and happiness.
Or you can write, here is to a long and happy marriage. Here is to is a great way to celebrate something.
And finally, how do fairy tales end? They live happily ever after.
Not rest in peace.
No, definitely not rest in peace. Happily ever after means they will be happy forever.
These phrases are amazing. Alex, I think we need a role play to fix your terrible mistakes.
Oh, I agree. What are we doing?
You are going to be the maid of honor. I want you to give a short, perfect toast using our new vocabulary. Show me how it is done.
I can do that. I will not mention a funeral once.
Okay, everyone. Quiet, please. The maid of honor is going to speak.
Thank you, Justine. Hello, everyone. First, I want to say how beautiful the ceremony was today. The bride looks absolutely stunning.
Hear, hear.
When Sarah told me she was finally tying the knot with John, I was overjoyed. They truly are a match made in heaven.
Aw, that is so sweet.
So, please raise your glasses. I want to propose a toast. To Sarah and John, wishing you a lifetime of love and happiness. Cheers!
Cheers. And scene. That was beautiful, Alex.
See, it is very easy. You just keep it positive, use the right idioms, and sit down.
You are a professional. And now it is time for the Buddy Rapid Fire Quiz. Listeners, test your wedding vocabulary.
I am ready. Give me the questions, Justine.
Question 1. What is the difference between the ceremony and the reception?
The ceremony is the formal part with the vows. The reception is the party afterwards.
Correct. Question 2. What do we call an extra guest you are allowed to bring to the wedding?
That extra guest is called a +1.
Spot on. Question 3. What is the English idiom for to get married that involves rope?
That idiom is to tie the knot.
Excellent. Final question. If someone is so nervous they want to cancel the wedding, what do they have?
They have cold feet.
You aced it! A perfect score. You have successfully passed your daily English Buddy wedding test.
Thank goodness. And if our listeners want to feel confident at their next English wedding, do not forget to download the free B1, B2 PDF study guide for this episode.
Yes, please grab the PDF. The link is right there in the description box below the video. It has all the roles, the events, and the safe phrases for your wedding card.
And before you go today, head down to the comment section and answer our question of the day. What is the funniest or craziest thing you have ever seen at a wedding?
Did someone drop the cake? Did someone give a terrible speech like Alex? Let us know in the comments. Remember to subscribe to the channel, guys.
Thank you so much for joining us on Daily English Buddy. Raise a toast, not a roast, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everyone. Happily ever after.